Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio on a Tuesday morning. So yesterday afternoon, sitting at home with the kid, we are either playing Play-Doh or building dinosaurs out of blocks, either one. It was a busy day, so I don't remember all of it. But I will say, though, I got a message, or at least a notification, and then my Chiefs buddies just started blasting me with messages. I'm like, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? Justin Ross getting booked for domestic violence and property damage over $25,000. So what did he do, ram a car?
I don't know. They won't release
No, they haven't said
details.
it yet.
But he is without bond. That's bothersome. Now, I'm sure the bond will be posted today when he has a day in court. This Justin Ross is the Clemson kid who nobody wanted to touch because of the fusion in his neck and so forth and so on. But he's a tough kid. Came back, played in all 7 games this year, had a couple, maybe 4 catches for the Chiefs, but be involved in something like this in which he is jailed. The incident happened over in Shawnee, Kansas, and it is a felony. It's $25,000 or more in damage. It sounds like he rammed a car. That's what one would guess. I can't imagine anything else, but be that as it may, he is in jail right now. This is Justin Ross. The other kind of down note, and not totally unexpected, is Nick Bolton, and he'll be out for a couple of months now. You knew the kid was in pain when he was hurt. He was on the sidelines holding his wrist. You knew something was wrong, and he's audibly in distress. He's going to have surgery to repair that dislocated wrist, and that puts him out for 2 months, which is basically the season. So we'll see. Maybe available for postseason play, but they'll have to be without Nick Bolton. But the Chiefs have survived without him in the past, so it's something they can overcome.
It is something they can overcome. The Justin Ross thing, it just blows my mind. You go through all that to come back through all that to just screw it up in the heat of the moment. Guys, just consider your future. I know everyone gets mad and everyone blows their tops, but take a breath or do whatever you can to freaking not do something like this.
The expression these days is chill out.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. It's not all bad news out of the Kansas City Chiefs camp, though. Now the Chiefs and the Eagles are the only teams in the NFL that have only lost 1 game after the Niners got a beat down
last
yesterday.
night. Minnesota beating San Francisco 22-17. That's right. That pins number 2 on them. Oh, and that's 2 consecutive now. They've lost those games here in the last couple of weeks. 49ers in a bit of a slump, but that is pro football. That does happen. Teams go into slumps like this. The Chiefs will go into one. I'm confident that they will. Philadelphia's been in one, may continue again. It's part of the game. The good teams do have their down periods.
And again, no game is guaranteed. Even the one that we've got in Denver coming up this Sunday. Never know. And anything can happen.
Denver took the Chiefs right to the wire last year in Denver.
Well, we'll see, man. We will see. The rankings made public yesterday gave us a hint to the official picture that's going to look like next week in the college football season.
This is the Associated Press, and this is the hallmark of all the rankings until the Bowl Championship Series became part of the picture. Now it's the bowl rankings. So prior to that, the AP, you look to see, you get an idea who's going to be number 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State in the Associated Press. The bowl rankings, which are that's how you determine who's going to be in the playoffs and who's going to be in what bowl games, come out the first ones, and there'll be 6 of them. First one is a week from tonight is when that happens. I suspect if Georgia wins this week that they will be the number 1 team, but that's only a suspicion. It's a committee of 13 that makes that. It's subjective. So we'll see. There are a lot of factors to be involved, but it's 1 week from tonight is when the bowl rankings come out.
Last but not least, the NBA season is running really fast towards its start,
which is tonight.
Yep.
The NBA season has 2 games tonight. They have the ring ceremony in Denver to celebrate their NBA World Championships, and the Nuggets, of course, are hosting the Los Angeles Lakers, who sport on their team the oldest player in the NBA, LeBron James. Hard to believe he's the oldest, but that is the fact. It'll be the Nuggets and the Lakers. That's tonight, and that's the celebratory game. The other game tonight is the Phoenix Suns visiting the Golden State Warriors. This is put together for television. Now everybody else opens up Wednesday and Thursday.
So that Texas battle is over.
And it is Texas who won. Of course, Texas is going to win regardless of that. But it's the Houston Astros, the World Series champs from last year, who get knocked out of it, and knocked out of it with a thunderous right hook that knocked them out. Texas Rangers 11, Houston Astros 4. The Texas Rangers win their way into the World Series, their first World Series since 2011 when they played the Cardinals, lost to the Cardinals in that series. Rangers have a very good team, folks. This is hardly a fluke. Those teams, the Astros and the Rangers, finished tied for their division title. The Astros won the tiebreaker by winning more of the regular season games. But in the postseason, they didn't win. And what's interesting, Mike, is the home team won 0 of these 7 games. Texas won in Houston. Houston wins up at Dallas. This is incredible. Home team didn't win at all. And last night, 11-4. And who's the American League Championship Series most valuable player? How about Adonis Garcia? Had 2 home runs last night, a couple more RBIs, 15 RBIs for the series. The guy's on fire. And yes, he's the same Adonis Garcia who played for the Springfield Cardinals about 5 years ago. Says it all, does it not?
Yeah, it sure does.
Now, the Philadelphia Arizona series, Arizona dominated last night. Came to Philadelphia, overcame the noise of the crowd, and whipped the Phillies 5-1. Merrill Kelly, who is Arizona's top pitcher, was dominant for 5 innings. I mean, he had 8 strikeouts in those 5 innings. Philadelphia is a long ball hitting team and does strike out a lot. And the starting pitcher, Kelly, and the 5 relievers who they brought in after that totally stymied the Phillies. They couldn't get anything going, and Arizona wins. Game 7 tonight. The winner of that one faces the Texas Rangers.
I guess they can't blame Creed now. They will probably be hearing higher all World Series long. No, I can guarantee you that's going to happen. All right, preseason college basketball player of the year. They actually decide who's the player of the year before they even play a game.
It didn't take them very long, but yeah, they do that. They take a look at all the kids who are coming in, and this guy is more than a kid. But he was the player of the year last year as well. So they've anointed him as player of the year this year. 7'4", 306 pounds. Zachy, the Purdue Boilermakers. Edie is utterly huge. He's a man-child, 21 years old, Canadian kid who went to high school, actually went to the prep school, IMG Academy down in Florida. This kid is really tough. He's a big player. He's huge, number 1. And the interesting thing about it is that Purdue got knocked out in the first round of the NCAA last year, and they were the top seed. It's only happened twice in history. Virginia and now Purdue gets knocked out. And this is with a dominant player in there. So nothing is guaranteed, but this kid's really tough, and this is interesting too, Mike, because they said, why didn't you go to the NBA? You're going to be a senior. He said, my mom, who lives in Canada, said, this is what we want you to do, her and her husband. We want you to do what you want to do, what you think is best. And he said, what's best is me going back to college, being with my buddies, and winning a national championship.
Good for him. And they get one shot at it. And I know the kids that are looking at their paycheck and how they could possibly get a season-ending injury or whatever. That makes a lot of sense in the sport of football. Totally get that. But when it comes to basketball, most of these kids, unless they're just a massive stud and they're going to be making hundreds of millions of dollars at the age of 17, might as well try to go for that championship.
I'm right with him. I said a great idea.
Money ain't nothing unless you have the glory.
And he does have a nil.
Well, also that too. We already talked about that Monday Night Football game last night, but it's definitely setting the stage for what could be an incredible Monday night game here in about 3 weeks when the Chiefs take on the Eagles at Arrowhead Stadium.
It will be November 20th. It's a few days back, 3 as a matter of fact, before Thanksgiving, and that will be a solid match. Philadelphia has some pretty good matches coming up. They have the Commanders this week, and they have another game prior to that with the New York Giants coming up. So there are any number of possibilities here, but the Chiefs and the Eagles, a rematch of the Super Bowl, should be a tremendous game. Chiefs have a big one, in my opinion, before that, and that's Miami in Frankfurt, Germany.
Yep. You're going to have to prove it this Sunday in Denver and then fly out to Germany and prove it there. I really wish this game against the Eagles was a Sunday afternoon so you and I can go, because it's the same week as the Vegas trip, and there's no way I'm getting a pass for both. But maybe you and I should just drive up there.
I've got an idea here. How about if
Grandpa Ned calls in?
You go to the football game and I'll go to Vegas.
No. I was like, that's not going to work either. Ned, you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.